To Be Reborn. Introduction. As I began to gather information about the Nehemiah Center's second decade for a sequel to On Mended Wings, a long-time Nehemiah Center collaborator warned me, "Carol, if your first book about the Nehemiah Center were a blockbuster movie, this sequel would be a box office flop." I was shocked, but I soldiered on. I talked with Alicia Hamming Navarrete, the Nehemiah Center's coordinator for the second volume. To refresh her memory, she reread On Mended Wings. While reading it, she told me, "Carol, every time I review a chapter of that first book, I think everything has changed." I was surprised, but as I gathered the information for a book about the second decade of the Nehemiah Center, I began to understand what both of these people had told me. Staff members sometimes wryly referred to parts of the first decade of the Nehemiah Center as fat cow years, thinking of Joseph in Egypt and his vision of the coming years of plenty. By inference, they saw the second decade as the lean cow years. Even during those lean cow years in Egypt, however, God provided. Joseph's brothers emigrated from Canaan to Egypt and survived those 7 years of famine. God was faithful. As I researched the story of the Nehemiah Center 2009 to 2019, I learned that Alicia was right. The center had changed immensely. And that longtime collaborator was also right. This second decade would not make a sweetness and light feel-good movie. If Mended Wings had been the image for the Nehemiah Center's first decade, I gradually concluded that Rebirth was an apt image for its second 10 years. Over the centuries, Nicaraguans have experienced hardship in many forms: natural disasters, war, injustice, and poverty. But they have been resilient. They have found ways to survive and then to be reborn. Perhaps the story of the Nehemiah Center's second decade is a history of Nicaragua in miniature. There have been setbacks and hardships, but like the Nicaraguan people, the center has been graced with resilience. Its mission of transforming lives of Nicaraguans and North Americans continues. Perhaps, like a butterfly in a chrysalis, it is on the verge of emerging. With faith and hope, it is moving forward to be reborn.